Hey guys, welcome back to the channel McNallie Money, home of all things stock, investment, and personal finance related. Now for today's video, we're going to be profiling a brand new penny stock to the channel. The company name is Banxa, and they're actually involved in the crypto or digital asset payment processing space. So super excited to talk about this one for a number of reasons we're going to discuss in today's presentation. But before we do, please take a second, hit the like button, you guys. It's a big help to myself and the channel. If you're not already subscribed, McNallie Money, feel free to do so. And let me know in the comment section below what you think of Banxa, if you're currently holding shares of this company, and how you think they stack up to some of the other players in this space. Now with that being said, let's get into today's video. Okay guys, so that's right. Today's video, we're going to be providing an update on Banxa Holdings Incorporated, trades under the ticker symbol BNXA on the Toronto Venture Exchange, or in the United States on the OTC under the ticker symbol BNXAF. Now this company is involved in the crypto or digital asset space, specifically allowing customers an on-ramp or off-ramp solution for the transfer of traditional fiat currency into the crypto market. Now we've got a lot to unpack in today's presentation. We're going to take a look at the corporate website, talk about some recent articles that have come out in relation to Banxa, and then do a deep dive into the company's updated investor presentation and their business model. But before we do, I did want to pull up a 6-month chart here because you can see they have retreated over the last couple of months. Obviously, with the downturn in the economy, we've seen a lot of volatility in the small cap penny stock space overall, not to mention companies that are related to the crypto market. Obviously, we've seen a pullback in some of the biggest cryptocurrencies around the world as well. And as mentioned in previous videos, I think this is presenting a golden buying opportunity if you want exposure to this space. So you can see Banxa closed out April 12th session. It was flat on the day at $2.51. And this is a company that just a couple of months ago, back at the end of October, was trading just around the $4 Canadian price point. So again, you're able to acquire shares at a much cheaper price at this point in time, or a lower average cost, which again is optimal for long-term investment. Now with that being said, and before we get into the articles and updated investor presentation, I wanted to do a quick summary of what it is Banxa actually does and how their business model works. So here you can see on the company investor website or landing page, again I'll leave a link in the video description below under the About Us section. Banxa is one of the fastest growing payment and compliance infrastructure providers for the digital asset industry, and the only one that is publicly traded and transparent in both its ownership and reporting. So that's one thing that's really interesting about this company and has really differentiated Banxa from some of the other players in this space, is it's a public company and you can hold shares just like any other stock. Banxa powers the world's largest digital asset platforms by providing payment infrastructure and regulatory compliance across global markets. Banxa's vision and mission is to build the bridge that provides people in every part of the world access to fairer, more equitable financial systems. Banxa is headquartered in Melbourne, Australia, with European headquarters in Amsterdam and the Netherlands. An interesting fact about Melbourne, I actually completed part of my bachelor degree there on an international Go Global exchange program. Beautiful city and a really cool hub to base your operations from. Now in terms of what Banxa is known from, it's a payment and regulatory technology or RegTech company that provides a secure and regulatory compliant payment channel for digital asset businesses to allow their end user customers to safely purchase cryptocurrency via the widest range of payment methods in the industry. And this is something we're going to look at in depth during today's presentation, and another way that Banxa has really differentiated itself from some of the other competitors. They offer localized payment solutions, a whole host of different payment technology or payment optionality to again really allow or level the playing field for people across the world to get access to cryptocurrency, whether that's an on-ramp or an off-ramp strategy. Banxa's licenses and registrations across jurisdictions provide digital asset service providers with the security of working with a transparent industry leader. And you've seen the word regulatory come up a number of times already in this single page alone, and that's going to be a common theme throughout today's presentation as well, as governments and regulatory bodies around the world continue to look for transparency in the crypto or digital asset space. And if we now jump over to the company website, again, you can see a fiat on-ramp for Web 3.0. So fiat currency is traditional money or traditional currencies deployed by governments around the world. So the platform really looks to enable users to convert fiat currency to crypto or digital assets. And you can see it's very user-friendly here. You basically put in exactly what you want to convert. So US dollars, Canadian, Australian dollars, whatever the core fiat currency is, you confirm that, and then you'll actually enter which of the crypto or digital assets you're looking to purchase. And again, you can see a wide array of different coins or tokens that are available on the platform. Now you can see they also have NFT optionality, so obviously NFTs have become all the craze these days, and people are now looking to purchase these or NFTs more so than we've ever seen before in history. So they support level 1 and level 2 blockchain networks to ensure instant payment, scalability, and the lowest costs in the industry. So we're going to look at some of those cost breakdowns again in a couple of minutes here. And the other thing I wanted to point out here, you guys, they've partnered with some of the biggest crypto players in the industry. So you can see a few named here on the website. They've got over $1 billion worth of transactions. Again, the most payment methods available of any of the players in this space, with the highest conversion rates in the industry, 700% year-over-year growth. We're going to look at some of the numbers in their recent earnings report in a second here or next up. And they've been around for over 8 years. They were founded in 2014. So they're actually one of the first movers in this space, giving them that trust and strong reputation in the crypto or digital asset payment infrastructure sector. That's a perfect segue to this article here, which just came out on Tuesday, April 12th, talking about Banxa's Q3 results, where they saw a 71% year-over-year increase in their actual transaction volume. So as you can see in the highlights below, Q3 2022 total transaction volume, TTV, this is a metric you're going to see in their CEDAR filings, of 355 million Australian dollars, which equates to about 274 million USD, which is up from 207 million Aussie dollars or 159 million USD in Q3 of last year. Now, March total transaction volume came in at $60 million US for the month alone. They signed 9 new partners, including Paxful, Pionex, and 1inch, and they added 11 new coins, including ApeCoin, which has been hugely popular recently, Cake or Pancake Swap, and Axie Infinity. So really getting into some of these more metaverse-focused coins or tokens. Now the article goes on to say, Banxa, the world's first listed payment service provider and RegTech platform for digital asset industry, today announced its March 22 total transaction volume, again, of $60 million US, and for the quarter, they saw a 71% year-over-year increase, again, coming in at 274 million US dollars. Now, the CEO of Banxa goes on to say, over the past few months, we've seen the crypto market re-energize, joining the wider crypto community at leading events in the last few weeks, including Miami NFT Week and NFT LA. We've seen increasing passion and support from the crypto industry regarding our continued investment and breadth in offering. We're excited to be part of the unique opportunities in the coming months as we anticipate the market will accelerate quickly this year with the growing broader community interest. So obviously, if you've been watching the crypto market over the last couple of months, it's been highly volatile to say the least. We've seen Bitcoin prices all over the place, along with pretty much all of the other crypto-related assets, coins, miners, stocks, things like that. So the fact that Banxa was actually able to see such huge year-over-year increases, I think really speaks to the platform's stability, the trust that they've instilled with their users, and the marketing or market position that the team at Banxa has really established. And speaking of that marketing or awareness for the Banxa brand itself, there's a couple of articles which I wanted to draw your attention to just before we jump into the investor presentation. So this one actually came out on March 28th of this year, talking about Banxa being the PayPal in terms of the crypto world. So obviously a very favorable comparison or analogy for the team at Banxa. Now the article goes on to say we're like the PayPal of the crypto industry. We are creating what is called fiat on-ramps and off-ramps. We are connecting the US, Euro, Canadian dollar world with the digital asset world and help facilitate the transfer of dollars into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other coins, as well as vice versa. Banxa is building the bridge between fiat currencies like the US dollar or Canadian dollar, plus a whole host of other fiat currencies we just looked at, and cryptos like Bitcoin or Ethereum. Its digital asset payment and compliance platform, again, there's the word compliance, connect businesses from the old world so they can start building in the new world. The connection consists of fiat/crypto on and off ramps. And I really like this next quote or analogy here. Some of the ways to describe us at Banxa is we're like a toll road operator. When you drive onto the toll road, we clip the ticket. When you drive off the toll road, we also clip the ticket. So we're really part of the infrastructure of the industry. And particularly now as it's moving from the early adopter market to the mass market, they're talking about crypto in general. I think there is significant opportunities out in the marketplace, and you've seen that with our numbers, which we just took a look at in that last press release. So this is a very clear and easy way to understand this business model, you guys. They take a small percentage each time someone is looking to convert fiat currency to crypto or withdraw crypto into fiat currency, which really makes Banxa an integral part of the model or the infrastructure itself. And with that being said, we're now going to jump over to the investor presentation. This is from March 1st of this year, and talk about the business model in a little bit more detail. Now we've covered a lot of the points under the Banxa overview on the left, but in terms of some of the numbers here, you guys, I wanted to direct your attention to this graphic on the right here. So you can see the current share price in the $2.50 Canadian range. Market cap is right in the $115 million Canadian or about $90 million US range. So truly a small cap or micro cap company, which obviously gives investors a tremendous amount of upside. They've got trailing 12-month revenue of just under $60 million US, cash and cash equivalents of about $19 million US, and a fully diluted share count of just north of 52.4 million shares. Now, the other thing I like to call out in these videos is the percentage of insider holdings or insider ownership, which is currently sitting at 20%, or 1 in every 5 shares being held by insiders. And for me personally, that's a great thing to see with these smaller penny stock type of companies, because it means that the leaders and the management team have a ton of their own money invested in the organization. Now, in terms of the 4 pillars really laid out by the team at Banxa, and again, all in relation and support of the payment and reg tech space, global and localized payments, so offering a variety of different options or solutions for people looking to enter the digital asset or crypto space. So on the global scale, some of the biggest credit card providers in the world like MasterCard, Visa, they also have Apple Pay. And on the local front, they've got Interact here in Canada, options in Europe, Netherlands, United Kingdom, Australia. So regardless of where you are in the world in terms of geography, they've got local payment options to get involved with their platform. Now again, we see the word regulatory and compliance show its face here. They've got multiple different VASPs or virtual asset service provider licenses and registrations in the reg tech space globally, and a full AML or KYC compliance platform given the regulated nature of the industry. And I think this is very important to call out because again, we're starting to see increased focus on regulation in the crypto space from governments around the world. Now, under the data science and automation pillar, they've got a highly scalable technology platform that automatically manages across an API and widget platform. So things like market data, pricing, payments, and order management are seamlessly integrated into the model. And then under the 4th and final pillar, which is named coin/token delivery, they've got technology that will deliver customer orders of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a variety of other coins and tokens in the most efficient manner possible, both with on and off-chain delivery technology solutions. So a great slide to really get a better understanding of the 4 key corners or pillars behind the Banxa organization. Now, in terms of the growth strategy or pipeline of future opportunities for the team at Banxa, you can see a number of them listed here. So their primary focus is on execution while increasing that TTV or total transaction value. They're growing their B2B customer base. We're actually going to look at some of these customers next up in the presentation. They're expanding their payment options, acquiring new crypto licenses and registrations globally, and expanding into new coins and opportunities in the DeFi or decentralized finance, NFT, metaverse, and blockchain gaming sectors. And you can see on the right here the approximate value of these various new opportunities or initiatives. So the metaverse, for example, represents an $8 trillion opportunity. The crypto market cap currently sits around $2 trillion, stablecoins $1 trillion, blockchain gaming in the 300 billion range, and NFTs currently represent about an $80 billion opportunity. So no shortage in terms of the TAM or total addressable market. And as promised, here's a look at their current or existing B2B customers. Again, you can see some of the biggest names in the crypto world. So companies like Binance, BingX, KuCoin, Shapeshift, and a whole host of other companies that are involved in this crypto or digital asset ecosystem. Now, we've touched on a couple of these points already in today's presentation, but before I let you go, I really wanted to highlight a few of the reasons why the industry or consumers are choosing to go with Banxa in terms of their crypto purchases. So again, they've got the most ways to pay. I probably see this as the number one factor behind this company is just user flexibility and optionality. They've got zero chargebacks, so fraud detection systems and their qualified team make sure businesses never lose out through chargebacks. So again, some of that security and regulation coming to fruition. They've got enhanced risk management, so extensive risk management strategy designed to keep customers safe and businesses operational. So I just actually watched the Netflix documentary on Quadra CX, and obviously that's a huge risk for a lot of people, especially first timers in the crypto or digital asset space. So risk management is paramount for these type of companies. They've got fast and seamless integration, again, through their widgets and APIs. Maximized conversions, enhanced risk profiling. So again, years of firsthand experience built from that 8-year history that the company has under their belt. Fraud detection. And the final point here is what's known as L2 or Layer 2 fiat on-ramp. And this is really what enables them to cut the time and the processing costs or transaction costs down substantially from traditional payment platforms. So you can see here layer 2 protocols, which are built on top of the underlying blockchain or layer 1. So layer 2 protocols actually refer to a secondary framework or protocol that's built on top of an existing blockchain system. And the main goal of these protocols is to actually solve the transaction speed and scaling difficulties that were being faced by major cryptocurrency networks. So that's exactly what Banxa has implemented here. And as you can see, they've actually reduced cost by over 300,000% in terms of the transaction fees. So that's another major differentiator for Banxa compared to some of the other players. And with all that being said, it's really no wonder we're seeing exponential growth, again, in TTV or total transaction value, as you can see in the graphic here. So back in calendar year 2020, their highest quarter was about $107 million in terms of total transaction value. And you can see the next quarter or the first quarter of 2021, that jumped up to $205 million. They then hit 290 in Q2 or their June quarter, and a very impressive all-time high of $594 million in Q4 of calendar 2021. Now again, we did see that number fall off in the first quarter of 2022. However, that's a direct reflection of cryptocurrency pricing itself. And again, Banxa makes money based on the on-ramp and off-ramp activity within the platform, not necessarily the underlying value of the cryptocurrency itself. And with that being said, I actually wanted to jump over to an article from Simply Wall Street. This is a platform that I absolutely love. I'll leave a link in the video description below if you want to take a look for yourself. The article is titled, "Industry Analysts Just Upgraded Their Banxa Holdings Revenue Forecast by 23%. This came out March 4th of 2022, so very recent here, you guys. And as you can see, shareholders in Banxa Holdings may be thrilled to learn that analysts have just delivered a major upgrade in their near-term forecasts. And based on this upward revision, the 3 analysts currently covering Banxa are now expecting revenue in the neighborhood of about 78 million Australian dollars for 2022, with the loss per share anticipated to greatly reduce in the near future, narrowing about 39% to only 9 cents Australian. And prior to this analyst upgrade, they actually expected revenue in the neighborhood of about 63 million and losses of 10 cents per share, again in Australian dollars. So obviously this is great to see. It's very bullish for Banxa overall, or in the eyes of the investment community. And these analyst upgrades are really what drives a lot of investor attention, especially in some of these smaller penny stock type of companies. So for those reasons, you guys, I definitely think this one's worth a look, especially if you're looking for exposure to the crypto or digital asset space, and perhaps you don't want to invest in actual cryptocurrency yourself. So to recap some of the investment highlights here, they were the world's first stock exchange listed fintech payment service provider, or PSP for short, and RegTech provider for the digital asset industry. They've got licenses and registration across the world, providing them access to digital asset services with the security of working with a transparent industry leader. Again, they've been around for over 12 years. Their technology platform offers partners the most ways to pay, so super flexible or high level of optionality for consumers. They maximize their conversions, seamless integration, and zero chargebacks, which we talked about. They've got a growing network with a strong pipeline of new partners. The impressive B2B or business-to-business portfolio, which we looked at in this video, and they're seeing significant increases in both their total transaction volume and top-line revenue over the last couple of quarters. So again, for those reasons, this is one I would definitely keep an eye on. Again, I'll leave a link to the company website in the video description below if you'd like to go in and take a closer look for yourself. If you're still watching the video at this point, hopefully you found some value, so make sure you hit the like button before you leave. If you're not already subscribed, McNallie Money, feel free to do so. And let me know in the comment section below if you've heard of Banxa before, if you've used their platform, if you're holding shares, and what you think about their business model compared to some of the other players in this space. Now, with that being said, that's all for now. Thanks so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.